This video is for the Moving the Cork lab in your notebook, so you need to be on that page in your notebook. The challenge is you have in the bucket in front of you a cork and water, and without touching the cork directly or touching the bucket directly, so you can't touch the cork directly, you can't touch the bucket directly, the goal the students had was to move the cork with these tools in front of them. They could use different tools, but they could only use one at a time. So obviously students first tried to touch the cork and I had to tell them not to. So if you watch what I do here, if I move this back and forth, I'm going to try to put this above here. Notice how the cork moves, okay, and notice how the water is moving. Okay, so you can kind of see the cork kind of went to the side, but you can see it kind of bobs up and down because it's a lot of water. And so I told them to use different tools. So I told them they could push it back to the middle. Wait till it stops. And then they could use a tool again. And it does move left to right, but you can see it bobbing up and down quite a bit. Then you have this big tool, so I'm going to have it pushed back to the middle again so you can see this big tool. Okay, try to let it settle. And then they would move this big tool. And this is where you can really see it happening. Okay, so now I want you to go back in your notebook and write down your answers to questions 1, 2, and 3. So you're going to draw this model and label it. So label the bucket, the cork, and everything like that, the water, the motions you see. And then describe the motion of the cork. How did it move? Did it move up and down, left and right? What did it do? And then what do you think caused the cork to move? I want you to pause this video and then come back once you have answered those questions. All right, now I'm going to assume that you have paused the video, you've tried to answer the questions on your notebook page. The first drawing, you should have a drawing that looks like the bucket and the cork and the movement of the water and maybe a tool that's been labeled. To describe the motion of the cork, that's question 2. Hopefully you notice that the cork bobbed up and down, but it didn't change location as much. Now it kind of did because there is a lot of wind in this room that's kind of pushing the cork, if you notice, to one side. But if you notice, it really bobbed up and down a lot. So that's what I was looking for in question 2, that it really moved up and down quite a bit. Question 3, what caused the cork to move? Well, hopefully you have figured out that there was an energy transfer. The water itself did move the cork, but not by itself. You had to have energy from some kind of disturbance. My hand, right, or went to the tool and was moving the tool around, and the tool didn't touch the cork. So somehow the energy that I was giving the tool was going through the water and carried to the cork, which made it move. So even though we didn't touch the cork directly, there's some kind of energy transfer that I wanted to see there. So for question 3, hopefully you noticed there was some kind of energy transfer that made it move. It wasn't a direct contact.